Hi friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Veronica. Today we're going to talk about India and what you need to pack, what essentials you need to pack with you. India is the country of contrasts, so you definitely need to be prepared because there are a lot of things that are very different, from food to culture to traditions, and things you should be prepared for. Watch this video till the end because you will find some interesting surprises, because for even avid travelers like myself who's been to 46 countries, some of the surprises are absolutely shocking. So you have to be prepared. You will absolutely have to pack the right essentials. Your support is extremely important to me, so please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, leave comments or questions below. Let's get started. The first thing that is extremely important is to bring cash. You can get your cash different ways. Try to get cash in their currency, in the Indian rupees. You will have an opportunity to exchange money right at the airport. As soon as you get your bags, there will be a kiosk for money exchange. It does take a long time, so be prepared to wait for maybe 5 or 10 minutes because they take copies of your passport. They make you fill out special paperwork. Everything is kind of manual, so it will take some time. Then when you pass the customs and the security, there will be another kiosk for money exchange. It would be great to have rupees on you as soon as you get out of the airport, because even for taxi rides, you will need to pay some cash and give them tips. People in India are very friendly, but they all expect tips. So even for something basic like a taxi ride or somebody bringing your luggage into your room or just helping you out with anything, even taking a picture of you with somebody or with your family member, they do expect tips. So you will have to give them anywhere between $2 to $5 for something very basic. And a lot of times you will also have people who are extremely poor come to you in the streets asking for money. So sometimes if you do have a couple of dollars, if you bring the American currency or US dollars, make sure you have dollar bills, $5 bills, something very small, so you can always tip them if you don't have rupees. But it is of course acceptable to tip on rupees. If you go to town and you get a tuk-tuk ride or any of those bicycle rides, they will expect a payment in rupees and they might not want to take your US dollars because some of those people might not have bank accounts to exchange US dollars into rupees. I would like to give you a warning about credit cards and usage of credit cards. Yes, Visa and MasterCard are widely accepted in India, but you have to go to a trusted store to pay with a credit card. I would not try to use a credit card in every store you go to, so make sure to follow the guide who is providing the tour to take you to the store that does accept credit cards and they're trustworthy, because other places like the markets and the street food vendors will take your cash. So make sure you have enough cash for the souvenirs. If you go into the museums, and there is a nice museum of Gandhi in Delhi, they will have a museum store that takes credit cards, and they do have beautiful souvenirs there that can be costly, but they do take credit cards and it is trusted, so you can definitely use your credit card in something like this, like a museum store. The next item on my list is medications. So as you probably have heard, many people or most people who go to India get a stomach bug. Just because the water is different there, the food is different. And a lot of times our stomachs are not used to their foods. Their foods are pretty standard and kind of the same for that country. They use a lot of spices, so it's very spicy most of the times. There are some foods that are less spicy, so you can probably find something that will suit you. They do use a lot of vegetables, so they eat a lot of vegetarian food, but they also eat chicken. They don't eat beef, they don't eat pork. And fish is a rare thing, but you can still find fish on their menu. So the number one medication that you should bring with you is something for upset stomach. So I found a couple of things that I brought with me from Amazon. One was a Travelon, and that's the medication that prevents bloating, gases, any kind of upset stomach, especially if you're traveling by plane and you're eating that on the plane food. And in some exotic destinations like India, all that food was really not something my stomach agreed with. So you can have a Travelon medication with your meals, and that will prevent you from being bloated and having upset stomach. So you can do that. The other thing is, if you're not using that medication and you're just eating all the food straight up, you might have upset stomach afterwards. So it's good to bring Pepto-Bismol medication or just a generic one that I brought from Amazon that really helped any upset stomach after the meals or on a daily basis if you do get any kind of bug. Most of the hotels provide you with bottled water and it's free of charge. You can drink the tea, make yourself coffee, and if you're going on tours with the tour company, they also give you bottled water. So it is definitely required for you to drink bottled water and even maybe brush your teeth with bottled water, because the water that they have running in the sink might have some bacteria that will cause some upset stomach for you as well. To be honest with you, in the group that I had for the tour, and that was about 35 to 40 people, almost everybody got a stomach bug throughout the trip. My personal experience was I did get a stomach bug on the last day of the tour just because I did not use Travelan or any kind of preventative medication on the last dinner, and it got me. So I had upset stomach for a couple of days. I even had fever with that food poisoning. So sometimes, you know, when they wash their fruits and vegetables, they wash it with, of course, tap water, running water, and that bacteria ends up on your food regardless if you're sticking with bottled water or not. So just be careful. Try to eat everything fried or cooked. If you get bacterial food poisoning, it's also good to bring some antibiotics. So before your trip, before you go to India, go to your doctors and ask them to give you a prescription for traveler's diarrhea. The doctors are usually very familiar with it, so it will be no problem for you to bring antibiotics with you on the trip. The other thing that is important is bring some electrolytes, because if you're going to India and a lot of times the weather is really hot, especially if you're going in the spring, in the summer, or even in the fall, the temperatures can rise to 100 degrees. So this time when I went in March, the temperatures were already 100 degrees. The air was dry and hot and very dusty. So it's good to have electrolytes to hydrate yourself, and also bring a Brita bottle with a filter. So in case you do need something extra in the hotel room, or you might not have enough bottled water or cannot buy bottled water while you're traveling, so it's good to have a filtered water that I bring with me on all of my trips. It definitely helps you to stay hydrated. One thing that I definitely want to mention about street food, and this is something our tour guide shared with us. They do have a lot of street vendors, and you can go purchase yourself some street food and try it if you want to take that risk and you're not worried about the stomach bug. And some of that food can be delicious, but a lot of times just keep in mind that these street vendors, they reuse the oil maybe 100 times. So if you're willing to take the risk, you want to try it out, definitely do so, but keep that in mind that you will need some medication probably afterwards or before you're taking that risk of trying the street food. But it might be delicious if you're into Indian food, you like the spicy stuff, you like the fried food, so it's probably worthwhile trying. I personally did not try it, but I know people who did, and they liked it, they enjoyed it, just because they like that kind of ethnic food. But keep in mind that the street vendors are probably rather poor, so they don't have enough money or resources to refresh the oil on a regular basis. Now let's talk about the basic essentials that you will need to pack with you to India. So number one will be definitely the sunscreen, because the sun is bright, so you have to bring some sunscreen with you, something that you can spray your hands and feet with, maybe your face if you're not wearing a hat. Bring a hat is definitely essential, and something to cover your face with, because it can be very brutal and very hot. Wipes and hand sanitizers are definitely a must. You should try to bring as many as you can, because constantly anywhere you go to the tourist sites and you're climbing up and you're holding on to the railing, you're opening doors, it's good to sanitize your hands afterwards. In the museum public bathrooms, they do have soap, but it's kind of questionable. It's really, you're not sure if you're really sanitizing your hands, so it's good to bring something with you. And also make sure to bring some hand wipes or maybe napkins to dry your hands with, because their hand dryers do not work. They don't have paper towels, and in most bathrooms they don't have toilet paper either. So definitely another necessity to bring with you is the toilet paper, because most of the bathrooms I've been to, the public bathrooms, the museum bathrooms, do not have toilet paper. When you're entering the public bathrooms, even in the museums or at the gas stations or in some of those midway stops to use the bathrooms while you're on the tour bus, they will be offering you napkins, but they will probably expect a tip in return. And inside of the cabins, most of the time, there are no tissues, there are no napkins. So if you're going to the restaurants, sometimes in the restaurants they do have toilet paper. Of course, there is toilet paper in the hotels, but it's good to have toilet paper on you to dry your hands and to use it in the public bathrooms. One more essential that I like to bring with me, and it was extremely useful on this trip as well, was the detergent for washing your socks and your underwear in the sink. And you're sweaty all day and maybe you didn't bring enough socks or enough underwear for the whole trip, and you want to rinse something in the sink and let it dry. So it's good to have some kind of detergent so that you can wash your clothes and wash maybe a t-shirt or the garment in the sink. The products I'm talking about are linked in the description below, so if you're interested to purchase some of them, you're welcome to go on Amazon, use my links. Although I'm the Amazon associate and make commissions on the sales, you do not pay anything extra. So whatever you purchase through these links costs the same as you would be buying it directly from Amazon. So let's talk about charging your electronics in India. So first of all, of course, in India, they have different plugs for your electronic devices. In the nicer hotels, like 4- or 5-star hotels, they have a plug for the USB or the plug for European appliances. But you should still bring the adapter and the plug for Indian outlets. I purchased one on Amazon and then I plugged it into adapter, and then using the extension cords for all of your devices, especially if you have phones, cameras, and some other things that you're bringing with you on this trip. Portable batteries are of course great for any kind of trips, because if your phone is dying in the middle of your trip, on our tour bus we had the plugs, the USB plug to charge your phone, so that was very convenient. But if it was not there, I would have to charge my phone on my own, and this is where the battery or the portable battery comes into play and really helps out to extend the life of your phone. Because by the time you get from point A to point B, going on different excursions, taking pictures and videos, by the end of the day your phone might be completely dead. So it's good to have a portable battery. In Delhi, they love honking, so it's very noisy. If you're staying in the hotel in Delhi, you definitely need a white noise machine, because all night long you could hear the honking, the music playing. They have different bars or restaurants open at night, or the nightclubs, so it gets very noisy, especially when the cars start picking up in the morning and everybody honks at each other. It is their culture. That's the way they notify each other, because there are a lot of bikes on the road as well, and people walking or crossing the streets. There are animals crossing the streets, so people honk all the time. It's part of their culture. I didn't see it in other cities that we visited in India, like Jaipur and Agra. It was primarily in Delhi. But when you're sitting in traffic and everybody's constantly honking and beeping, it gets really loud. So in those hotels that are close to the highways or close to the city center, it can get really loud. I like to bring my noise machine, or white noise machine that I use, that I purchased for babies a long time ago. I bring it with me because it's good for like 8 hours. It can run the white noise and block out any of that outside noise in the window. So it's really, really cool. Plus, if you're sharing a room with somebody like your family member or friend who is snoring and you cannot sleep, it's good to bring earplugs and have the white noise machine working at the same time. Now let's talk about outfits for going to India and what kind of outfits you should bring with you. At many religious sites and maybe even mosques, because there are many of them throughout India, because there are a lot of Muslims in this country, you have to take your shoes off. And a lot of times people do not bring socks when they're going through the mosque. You can purchase socks at the front entrance, but most people were just going bare feet. And it is pretty dirty. The floors are dirty, so they're not as clean as you would expect. Some places, like the Singh place where they cook, they were showing us the kitchen. We had to walk through the kitchen bare feet, and the shoes were not allowed. You might be leaving the shoes outside the chapel or the place you're going inside, the mosque, and the shoes can get stolen. So somebody will pay the tip for a watcher to watch over the shoes of the tourists to make sure that none of these shoes disappear. Again, this country has a lot of poverty. There are a lot of people who have nothing, so it's very easy for these things to disappear. So you either can carry it in your hands if you don't want to leave them outside the mosque when you're entering the beautiful facility, or if your guide is paying somebody a tip for watching your shoes, that's also a good idea. So definitely bring a couple of pairs of socks for those purposes where you have to take your shoes off when entering any kind of religious sites or the sightseeing fortresses and palaces. And also bring something for your head, maybe a big scarf that you can cover your head with. They will give you some scarves at some places, but many people are using them, so it's probably not very clean, so it's nice to have your own. The other thing that was very interesting is they make you cover not only your shoulders but your knees, and men are not excluded from this. So if the men had shorts on, they made men cover their waist or their shorts with something long, like a piece of fabric, or it was a cover-up. And same with women, they were even offering certain coverings like long clothes on top of your clothes so that nothing was showing and everything was covered. For women, of course, it's ideal to wear something long and loose, dresses and clothing. I made a couple of videos of things that I was wearing and the dresses that I brought with me. My dresses were conservative, they were long enough to cover everything, and I was allowed to enter different places in these clothes. I'm going to show you these videos in a couple of minutes. So of course you can wear your own clothes. You can bring some pants, you can bring some long skirts, long dresses, but just keep in mind that this country is very conservative, and if you're traveling there, if you want to bring something that will be more fitting and more suiting for that environment, for that culture, bring a couple of dresses that are inexpensive and can easily be purchased on Amazon. And I use these dresses in other countries as well when I traveled. They're very pretty, they are very comfortable, they're light, they're loose, and they have nice colors. They look beautiful in the pictures, so it's nice to bring something with you like that. For this dress, I usually get a lot of compliments. I traveled with this dress to a few countries, and the most recent one was to India. Although it's not cotton, it's still not too hot. So it is long enough, it covers everything, and it's extremely comfortable whether you're traveling by bus or you're walking around. It's not hot at all. Some other colors of this dress have pockets, so check it out. I really enjoy this dress. It is loose, it has nice length, as you see right here. It has a little bit of a slit on the side, but it is still very conservative. So if you're going to some Muslim countries or conservative countries, it's good to wear something like this. And if it is the summertime, it's hot, it's nice to match it with a nice hat like this one. This one is dark blue, but they have them in other colors as well. That's Indian design. It's made out of viscose, so it's very similar to something between silk and cotton. It's also extremely comfortable. It does have a string in the middle, so you can make it a little bit tighter here, so more fitting around your waist. And it is also loose. Travel with it, it's nice to walk around, and it doesn't get hot. I love the style of these dresses just because it's not too tight, it's not too loose, so it kind of keeps its shape, and then it's not hot. It's very comfortable to wear. These dresses come in different colors, so I love how bright the colors are. This is the red one, or burgundy. They do have brighter colors like pink. The previous color I showed you was light blue, and it was absolutely gorgeous. These skirts are extremely light, they're very comfortable, they have very nice design, they have pockets as well, and they come in different colors. This is a beige one. I also purchased the blue one after the beige came in. I was so impressed with the style and the fabric that I purchased the second one. This is a t-shirt type of blouse, but you can get the actual blouse or any cotton blouse or just a t-shirt that matches well with your skirt. Thank you for watching this video till the end. I really appreciate it. So please don't forget to like it if you found this information useful. Subscribe to my channel. Click on the notification button. My next video will be about India. I'm going to tell you different stories and different experiences that I personally had in India and show you the different beautiful sites that I visited. So definitely click on that notification button to get informed when that video comes out. Please don't forget to comment, because your active participation helps YouTube algorithm to push this video to more viewers who are looking for this information and want to see these videos as well. Thank you again, and I will see you soon.